Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei Was Dying from Samael Blood and Became One Above All movie. Before we start, please go support Dan Mori for writing that awesome fanfic. This is the translated version I made. There will be some mistake in character's gender, but of course Issei is a male. After basically being on the brink of death, Issei is given the power to do anything. Chapter 0. Where am I? What is this? I can't see anything. Please, it feels strange, it feels wrong. Where am I? What is this? It hurts. I died for Samael. His blood was in the dimensional gap, but this isn't the gap. Where I am hurts. It feels wrong. Where I am. No, wait, I have to go back with them, with her. I can't stay here. I have to go back, or else something bad will happen to them. I have to go back. I have to go back. But how do I go back? I don't have a body. I died from the poison. How can I go back? I need power. Wait, what is that? I feel I can't see it, but I feel an energy over there. Can I move? Yes, I can. What is that energy? Do I have it? No, wait, it's too much. The power is coming in. I can feel it. A power much greater than Great Reds, greater than Ophis, greater than all the demons and angels together, greater than the gods. The power. It's too much. What is this power? It's enormous. It feels bad. So much pain. It hurts. It hurts. Calm down, kid. What peace? I feel so much peace. I'm falling asleep. I'm sleeping. No! I have to go back. What am I doing here? I have to go back. I can't keep sleeping. I want to go back. I want to live. I want my body. I want to see them. Interesting, you were the one who woke up. Who are you? What am I doing here? What is this? Who am I? That's what I wanted to ask you. Can you tell me your name, boy? My name? What am I doing here? Where am I? What is this place? Why can't I see anything? Why do I feel so peaceful? What is this power? Those are unnecessary questions. What's really important is, who are you? Who am I? My story, where I come from, my family. Who am I? No, I don't remember. Of course you remember. I can see it. Who are you? Why don't you tell me who I am? You have to tell me. I am. Who am I? I can't remember. Wait, I'm a human from Japan. Me, red hair, blonde hair, orange, blue, silver, gold, black, white ears. 9. I was a demon. Good, continue. You're on the right track. I died more than once. Dragon's red-white rival. Yes, keep it up. Marriage, salvation, black wings. My memory is scrambled. Never mind. Tell me whatever comes to mind. Heroes, betrayal, white, big, red, poison, angels, church, swords, friends, president, Asia, Rias. Keep going. Akeno, Kiba, Kaneko, Irina, Zenobia, Rosweiss, Gasper, Valis, Surzex, Azazel, Drake, dead mom. That's it. Now tell me, who are you? I am the Red Dragon Emperor, Pei Dragon Peon. My name is Issei Hayato. Congratulations, you managed to recover your identity. Who are you? Me? Many names have been given to me, but essentially, I am the one above all. Chapter 1 Explanation. Who are you? Me? Many names have been given to me, but essentially, I am the one above all. That's a very good name. That's what they say. Sir, what am I doing here? Maybe it was fate, maybe it was my will, but you should be grateful for being here. Thank you. Here, no. Come back. I have to come back, please, sir. Of course, Issei, you must return to your harem. Exactly, I have to go back. I already told you. Calm down, kid. I can't. Sure, everything will be okay. So far you've done better than your predecessors. Predecessors? What are you talking about? Many have come here and taken power but couldn't stand it. The power is immense. It is called the heart of the universe. The heart of the universe. Yes, nothing more and nothing less than a tiny part, a small fragment of my power. A small part? How powerful are you? You have my power, you should know that. I can't. Afraid I'm scared. I understand. I can't even imagine it. Feeling like you're dying in less than a second is saying something. Okay, don't worry, I just want to tell you something and then you can go. What thing? With my power you can do anything: telepathy, telekinesis, magnetism, teleportation, fly. Do you understand? Anything. That's all. You can go now, but since you're the first person to endure the power, I'll grant you one wish. I wish. What do I want? Can I ask for anything? Whatever you want. A body. I want a body. I want to come back to life. Just that? How easy. Click. That's it. Be happy, Issei. Oh God, please. Grant us the blessing of rain, said a gray-skinned being with 2 protuberances sticking out of his head. Oh God, please. My family, my kind, we are dying of hunger and thirst. Please grant us rain. The being was worshipping an altar. In the sky, something had entered the planet. It was like a meteorite that was traveling directly toward that gray being. No, have I made the gods angry? He quickly moved away from the place. He hid behind a large rock. The meteorite impacted right on the altar. The area was destroyed, but the being protected from the shock wave by the rock. I must know what is there. The being approached the crater, and there he could observe Issei, naked. The chestnut tree was waking up in a tent. Issei, Drake? Are you there? He asks himself while opening his eyes. So you're not with me anymore, partner. I definitely died. But now I have my body back. I'm alive again. Although why do I only have a loincloth? Said a noticeably feminine alien entering the store. Issei, what are you? A supernatural race? He said, standing up. Issei, what? I can't understand, but what if with his middle and ring fingers he touched the alien's temple? This is weird, but what he said was true. Sir? What are you doing? Asked the alien. Issei, ahem, can I ask you where this place is? Our planet has no name. It's a desert planet. Our people are dying because of it. Issei, I understand. But when our leader was praising the gods, you fell from the sky. As a sign, you must be the one to save us, he said, taking Issei out of the tent. Please, God. Oh God. Grant us a miracle. All the villagers were kneeling, praising Issei. Issei, what is this? They want a miracle, sir, from you. He knelt down too. Please, there is no water on our planet. Please grant us a miracle, Lord God. Issei, they need water. I can do anything. He raised his hands to the sky. His eyes turned completely white, and then something that hadn't happened on the planet for a long time happened. The clouds turned dark, lightning could be seen, and a few seconds later the first drops began to fall. The gray beings were amazed when it finally began to rain on their planet. Issei, there you have it, it's just a little rain. Thank you. All our prayers. Thank you, gods. The gray beings were crying with joy. Help! Please! Shouted an alien carrying a little girl. Issei, Please! My daughter is. She hasn't eaten or drunk in days. The brunette approached the alien. Issei, let me see her. He touched the girl's forehead. She looks very pale. She's in very bad condition, but now I feel like I can do anything. A light came out of Issei's hand. When the light faded, the girl's body regained color, and her malnourished appearance disappeared. She is. Issei, it's okay now, don't worry. Thank God. Issei, tell me, Issei, what is your name? Gore, my name is Gore. Issei, well, calm down, Gore, now everything will get better around here. The chestnut tree was sitting in the middle of nowhere. Issei, I can do anything. An entire forest grew in an instant with the chestnut tree as its central point. That's it. In less than a week I was able to repopulate the flora of half the planet. Now they should grow naturally without any problems. Issei, well, my time in this place is over, unfortunately. Lord God, thank you so much for granting us so many miracles. Our planet is now more alive. We won't starve anymore. Not even from thirst. Thank God. Issei, it will continue to rain when I leave. They won't die of thirst, and with the new plants I created they won't die of hunger either. Great God, grant us one last miracle and tell us your name. Issei, of course, they just had to ask. My name is Issei, Issei Hayato. Lord Issei Hayato. Issei, if that's it, goodbye. He opened a portal with a movement of his hand and entered. From now on, this village will practice Isseism, the worship of our God and Savior Lord Issei Hayato. Issei, no, the brown-haired boy's skin crawled. It can't be what happened here. The landscape the chestnut tree encountered was horrible. Everything was destroyed. There were no houses or buildings left. It resembled the desert landscape of that nameless planet. Issei, my home is destroyed. Chapter 2 Travel. We found ourselves in a completely blue plain, where a completely yellow humanoid figure was walking. He continued walking for a few minutes and met a blue-haired boy who was sitting and concentrating on watching a screen. This place is as nice as ever. The blue-haired boy's skin crawled upon hearing this, and turned to look at him. Dan, he stood up quickly and bowed. I feel like it was yesterday the last time we saw each other, Dan. Dan, it's been a millennium, sir. Tell me, Dan, have you been playing with the natural order of things? Dan, sir, I don't understand. Who is he? Asked a humanoid smoky figure. Dan, sir, give me a second. He raised his palm toward the smoky figure and made it disappear. Excuse me? Don't worry, so you finally found your official player? Dan, yes, I found it. That boy, I knew him, although he was from another universe. Dan, why do you? He got the heart of the universe. Dan, what? He has how? He's a special boy. Dan, he was able to wake up from his eternal sleep and regain his identity. It's been a while since someone gained power. Dan, 5.67 billion years, more or less. Although that someone who took power ended up collapsing in an explosion and restarting his universe. Dan, yes, it was difficult to move the heart of the universe to another universe, but sir, I still can't find an explanation. How could that variant resist the power? It's a variation worth observing, but if you want another answer, I'd say it was luck or destiny, just as another variation of his is your player. Dan, I understand destiny. Don't worry, everything will end well for everyone. Dan, sir? Let's leave that. Why don't you show me your player? Dan, but what about I-7044? He just arrived on your planet, only 25 years late. Dan, late? That's a lot in human time. Dan, I see, then I'll show you the I-35D. Go read the system of God. The landscape the chestnut tree encountered was horrible. Everything was destroyed. There were no houses or buildings left. It resembled the desert landscape of that nameless planet. Issei, my home is destroyed. How did this happen? There are no signs of life, none. He opened a portal and walked through it. Issei, not just Ko, but Tokyo too. Issei, Kyoto. Issei, Hong Kong. Issei, Moscow. Issei, Rome. Issei, Paris. Issei, Barcelona. Issei, London. Issei, Zurich. Issei, Munich. Issei, Berlin. Issei, Washington. Issei, New York. Issei, Toronto. Issei, Brasilia. Issei, Buenos Aires. Issei, Montevideo. Issei, the main cities of the world. Everything is destroyed. I can't feel the thoughts of any human, demon, angel, yokai, dragon, or anything. No, that's not true. I only feel one thing. He opened a portal. California. In front of Issei was an enormous beast that had 7 heads with 10 horns, 7 necks, 7 long and thick tails of different shapes, 4 robust arms, and a pair of legs even larger than these. Its torso is that of a primate bent forward, covered in thick black fur along with dragon scales. Compared to it, Issei was tiny. It's the best I could get. Issei, was it you? The cause of this? The beast didn't respond. Don't you want to talk? Or can't you? He placed his middle and index fingers on his own temple. No, there is no trace of consciousness. You are a beast that moves only by instincts, and your instinct tells you fear. Are you afraid of me? You can't tell me what you did. It doesn't matter. I can see your memories. God sealed you. The god of angels massacres Asgard, Gregory, heaven, the underworld, Olympus, the end of the world screams. You killed them all. Gods, demons, angels, humans, all equally. But who freed you? Let me see. Rise of him. He freed you, but who is he? It doesn't matter. I will know. In an instant the beast moved 2 of its arms to hit Issei. Issei, please. He raised his left arm, stopping the beast's attack with telekinesis. I'm already too angry to tolerate a foolish attempt at attack. He moved his arm down, and the beast's arms were cut off, but they regenerated quickly. That surprised Issei. The beast took advantage of that and hit him in the face with one of its tails. Healing factor, huh? He showed the beast the wound left on his cheek. I have it too. It healed. The 7 heads of the beast launched a breath of fire towards Issei, but he counterattacked with rays of energy that came out of his eyes. Little by little Issei's lightning bolts were winning, his strength increasing until he ended up destroying one of the beast's heads. Issei, I can't allow your existence. He raised his right hand towards the beast and began to turn it into dust, but it regenerated quickly. I'm not doing it right. The strength of the phoenix. He turned the beast into dust again, but this time it no longer regenerated. As it was dissolving at great speed, I'm definitely doing something wrong, he said, completely getting rid of the beast. The brown-haired boy stood for a few seconds staring into space. He was lost in the world. The beast had wiped out all life on Earth and its dimensions, and a lock of Issei's hair had turned white. Issei, well, I can't just sit back and do nothing. He raised his hand and a green stone appeared in it just as I imagined. With this I could. The stone began to float in front of Issei. He extended his arms under the stone, then a green aura enveloped the protagonist. A few seconds passed and the beast appeared again in front of Issei. He simply ignored it. Time seemed to go in reverse, and it was going fast. You could see in reverse how the beast destroyed the city. How it killed those humans. Little by little the place where Issei was rebuilt. After a few minutes the chestnut finally finished. Issei, 31 years old. I don't know what date it is, but I went back 31 years. I look around noticing that I was on a road in front of a gas station. In the distance you could see the city. Listen, if you buy something, I want it to be something healthy, said a woman who was filling up her car with gas. It's okay, Mom, a little girl replied. Seriously, fruit juice, I don't want any soda. I know, God, calm down. The girl entered the store. The girl walked to the back of the store where the drinks were. Orange or apple juice? The best juice? Orange juice, hands down. At the same time, a man in a blue coat entered the store with his coat cap on. Hello? Can I help you? Asked the store manager, but the man in the blue coat didn't respond. Sir? UWH. The man in blue quickly covered his face with a red handkerchief and pulled out a gun. Quick, no alarms, don't do anything stupid, and open the cash register. Sure, buddy, calm down. I just want what's there. At that moment, the girl who had come in to buy some drops her juice, which makes the thief nervous, who turns around and shoots. The bullet hits the girl in the chest and she falls to the ground. He couldn't finish speaking because the criminal shot him between the eyebrows. No witnesses. The thief climbs onto the counter and takes out as much money as he can. The man ran out of the store. Outside, the girl's mother, seeing the agitated man, became worried and quickly entered the store. Issei saw all that, let the thief go, and entered the store. Oh God, Sandy, my daughter, she said through tears, hugging her daughter's body. Issei entered and went to the manager. Issei, he's definitely dead, he said, seeing the hole in his head. Then a golden glow began to emanate from his hand. He placed it on the body, and the glow completely covered the person in charge. Huh! How I was. The protagonist moved away from the attendant and approached the girl's body. What have you, Issei, don't worry, he said with a smile and repeated what he did with the manager. She is. Sandy, Mom, that man shot me like. Issei, everything is fine now. I was dead, I died. Sandy, I was dead too. But daughter, you're here now. Sandy, is this real? Are you sure I'm not in the afterlife? This is kind of like limbo. Issei, shhh, nothing happened, he said, touching the girl's forehead, who froze. He did the same with the mother and the manager. Immediately the girl returned to the refrigerators with the drinks. The mother returned to her car and the manager returned to the counter. He also cleaned the floor with his powers, that's all. The protagonist left the store as if nothing had happened. The only thing that changed was that more parts of his hair turned white. Issei, now it's your turn. And I didn't want to, I just heard a noise. I got scared and shot accidentally. I'm sorry, I just panicked, I didn't mean to do it. The man in blue was in front of some gang members. Yes, what a bad boy. How much did you get? Asked the boss. What? The man asked back. I'm talking about money. How much did you get? I didn't count it, maybe a couple of hundred. Good. With that you can start paying me what you owe me. The deadline I gave you is about to end. Why yes, sorry Joe. Joe, good boy, how are you doing, Tommy? With your whole situation. Tommy, I was able to make ends meet, with the money you gave me, thanks, but I still haven't been able to find a job. Joe, that's what I thought. Tommy, and then there's the next month, we can't pay the electricity bill and I don't know what we're going to do, my family. Joe, have you ever thought about robbing a gas station? At that moment, all the gang members started laughing. Tommy, Joe, haha, relax, I was joking, now get out of here, get the money you owe me and don't come back with another sad story, I'm serious. If you want to get out of the hole you're in, you need to get stronger, don't be weak, Tommy, because there will always be someone stronger who will come to you and make you. The gang members suddenly fell silent. All the gang members stood still waiting for something to happen. Despite being ordinary humans, they had been able to clearly feel an overwhelming presence. Issei, I don't have a good control of this, he said, entering through the main door. Joe, how are you here? There were guards outside. Issei, what guards? I asked sarcastically despite remembering who I am. I think I lost something very important, my feelings. I have a theory that. Shut up, kid! A gang member shot Issei in the head, saving us from a lot of text. The bullet had barely been able to embed itself in Issei's forehead. The protagonist removed it and demonstrated his healing factor. Issei, the fact that I don't feel pain makes me careless. I don't like it. The gang members were terrified by Issei's powers. Tommy, for his part, ran to the back door and went to his car. He tried to open it, but his hands were shaking a lot, and he couldn't put the keys in. Joe, damn lunatic, I pull out a revolver. Issei, but who's really a man? The one with power? Or the one who takes advantage of others to make a profit? He snapped his fingers and Joe disintegrated. I don't have the answer, so I'll just kill those who seem insane to me. Meanwhile, Tommy, the man, had finally opened his car, got in, started it, and headed towards the road. But in the middle of the road, Issei appeared and, with a movement of his hands, dismantled the car into small pieces, leaving only the seat where Tommy was and the steering wheel intact. Tommy, I am sorry. Please forgive me. God. Issei, I was only 12, and the other guy did nothing. Now I ask you, why? Tommy, I'm sorry, I got nervous and. Issei, silence, you won't give me a good answer. He put his hand on his head. Tommy would kill you, but that would leave a girl alone with her grandmother. No, I won't kill you. Your name is Tommy, single father, only son. You will forget everything related to Joe. You will dedicate yourself only to improving your daughter's life. You will get a decent job. You will send your daughter to a good school. You will give your mother a house, and you will get a good stepmother so that your daughter has a good maternal figure. Tommy, I am Tommy and I will dedicate myself only to my daughter, he said in a trance. Issei rebuilt Tommy's car and let him go home. Issei, shit, why didn't I ask someone what the date is? He returned to the gang member's house. I feel like something weird is going on. One of those guys had a memory of a dream that was about a green door, a crack rather, that caught my attention. I don't know why he found a phone. Well, let's see what date it is. May 4th, 2012. I see. The boy left the house and walked down the middle of the road. Issei, I know what date I am on. I could go back, but I don't know. I once read that if someone achieves omnipotence, that someone becomes a selfless being. That's what happened to me. What happens if I come back and don't feel anything? That scary fear. He turned to look at his hand. His fingers were trembling. Fear, the idea of not feeling anything when I come back made me afraid. It's true, when I erase the memories of the people at the gas station, I also read the minds of those people in the house. Their feelings, could I understand them? The mother's love, the girl's confusion, the man's fear, the gang member's weight. One of them had the memory of a green door, or was it a crack? That worried me for some reason, but I can't do anything about it. But I can do something about the feelings. What if I am the answer? First I must go back to my past self, then I see their memories. That will make me understand the feelings. There is no one better than me same for this. Everything is falling into place, said the one above all. Dan, did you say anything, sir? Nothing. Chapter 3. Meanwhile. Previously. Issei, what if I am the answer? First I must return to my past self, then I see his memories. That will make me understand feelings. There is no one better than myself for this. at the moment. Issei, not a bad plan. He made a green gem appear in front of him, and extended his hands, placing them under the gem. 2012. 6 years. The green aura enveloped Issei once again, while everything around him changed, meaning that he traveled in time. Issei, I should be on the right track now. The green gem began to float around Issei while a blue gem appeared on his right hand. Now a blue cloud sprouted behind Issei's back and covered him completely. Narrates Issei. After completing the middle-class devil promotion test, the Gremry, Ravel, Kuroka, Lefei, Ophis, and Azazel-sensei gathered at the hotel where we were staying. While we were celebrating, we were trapped in another dimension which was an almost perfect copy of the hotel. Everything was orchestrated by Chow Chow and his partner George, but we were totally overwhelmed by Chow Chow and his true Longuinus. Then Valley appeared, but he and Ophis were defeated by the hatred of God, Samael. Once Chow Chow fulfilled his goal of seizing power from Ophis, he retired. Then the Soul Reapers appeared, beings that served the god Hades, and the six-armed swordsman Siegfried also appeared. We were able to take care of the Soul Reapers thanks to the power of Rias's breasts. But then Shalba Beelzebub also appeared. Hadn't I killed him in the battle against Diodora Astaroth? Anyway, thanks to the appearance of Shalba and the Annihilation Maker, the barrier of George's lost dimension weakened, and that allowed my friends to escape. But I stayed to save Ophis from Shalba, and in the battle, at a moment when I had the Demon King's descendant on the ropes, that rat used an arrow dipped in Samael's blood, a poison for dragons, but afterward, even weakened, I was able to finish off the demon. The field is in ruins. I was walking in that field, but I don't even have the strength to walk. I was walking while leaning on Ophis's shoulders. It's the effect of the curse. I came to save Ophis, but instead, I'm being carried on his shoulders. My vision is blurry. That's weird. I'm not even sleepy. I don't feel the pain of Samael's curse anymore. I don't feel like I'm losing anything, nor is it painful. Drake, partner. It's almost time. Azazel and the others are probably about to open the dragon gate for us. If that happens, then the only thing left is for them to summon us. Drake, I know, let's move on. Yeah, what should I do when I get home? Review the promotion test with everyone? Yeah, we still have the mid-semester test, too, once I get back home. Issei, hey Ophis, said the brown-haired boy with a small smile. Ophis? Issei, what do you want to do when you get home? Ophis, home? I have nowhere to go back to. I don't have the power to return to the dimensional gap. Issei, so you can come back to my house? Ophis, Security's house? Issei, yes, if you can get along with Asia and Irina, then maybe with the others too. My feet can't go any further. My vision. Is it going up? Did I fall? I couldn't even say that. Issei, Ophis, have you ever fallen in love with someone? What am I saying? But I can see that beautiful crimson hair in my mind. Drake, partner, react on your own. Everyone is waiting for you. Yes, I know Asia is a crybaby, so I have to go back quickly. Akeno-san is a very fragile person, although she seems Kaneko-chan. I'm glad she's taking care of Ravel, Zenobia, and Irina. I remember when they were my first enemies. Ophis, Drake, the curse on this person is already circulating throughout his body. He is at his limits. Drake, I know, Ophis. I know. But he won't die. He's always stood tall. Raswise-san, Gasper, hurry up and go home. Azazel-sensei, Kiba, my important. Drake, let's go home, partner. What are you doing? Get up. You always stand up. Serorg-san, Valley. I still want to fight you guys. Rias, the woman I love. Flashback. Rias, I see, come back to me, no matter what. Issei, yes, I'll come back, no matter what. Then the Gremry group plus some other people were transported by a magic circle. End of flashback. I'm glad that I was able to tell you how I feel. I'll definitely come back to you. Issei, I love you, Rias. I'm glad that I was able to at least tell you that. Normal narration. Ophis, Drake, this person is not moving. Drake, yes. Ophis, Drake. Are you crying? Drake, yes. Ophis, I only knew him a short time ago. Drake, yes. Ophis, he wasn't a bad person. He was my first friend. Flashback. Issei, hey Office. Do you want to be my friend? Office friend? What would I gain if I became that? Issei, it could be at least to have someone to talk to. Office, I see. That sounds fun. End of flashback. Drake, yeah, it was fun. Hey Office, no, this man's last friend. Office, what's going on? Drake, could you listen to my story for a bit, before moving on to a new host? Office, it's okay. Drake, I want you to remember this man forever, let me tell you about him. Office, was he a good security? Drake, yes, this is the story about the man who was the greatest security. Issei, although I would like to hear that story. The other Issei appeared in front of Opus and Issei's body. Office, security? Issei, right now I'm more interested in this. With the green gem he paralyzed the infinity dragon. What do you think if we go to a quieter place? MH? That Issei's body began to shine in a crimson red. They're trying to use the dragon gate. I'm sorry. From his left hand he took out an orange gem and placed it on the brown-haired boy's chest, but now I need it more again. The blue cloud covered Issei. Underworld. Azazel, preparations are ready. I'm going to open the dragon gate. The ruler of the fallen was being helped by the former dragon king Tannen and Kuroka to open the portal. There was chaos in the underworld. The monsters created by the Annihilation Maker were attacking alongside the ancient demon king's faction. The alliance had already sent troops, but it was still a difficult battle. Azazel. Yes! We're connected! He shouted as the magic circle began to glow. The Fafnir jewel that Azazel had began to shine in a golden color. Even Vala and Tannen's bodies shone in white and purple respectively. The glow covered the entire room where they were performing the ritual. The young devils covered their eyes due to the overwhelming brightness when the glow dissipated. In the center of the magic circle, instead of Issei, there were only the 8 pawn pieces that had been used in it to revive him. Azazel, you're an idiot! He shouted, falling to his knees on the ground. The others also began to understand what was happening. Akeno walked towards a seat and sat down while maintaining a blank expression. Rias stood still, trying to process everything. Asia, where is Issei-san? She asked with a puzzled expression. Ravel hugged Kaneko, who denied everything while crying. Kiba, it's not fair, Issei-kun. You said you would come back no matter what and you only returned your pieces. That was the day the Occult Research Club lost Issei Hayato, the Ape Dragon, Security. Somewhere in space. Issei, well, it's time to see my memories, he said while holding the orange gem in front of him. Bell ringing. Now let's call them Issei 1, the one we saw from the first chapter, and Issei 2, the one who appeared in this chapter. Both Issei were in an orange sandy dimension. In the sand you could see faces of different species. Issei 2, you, it's me. Issei 1, yes, I am you. Issei 2, how is this possible? Seeing another me. Issei 1, you could say I'm the you of the future. I found myself with a power greater than anything I knew after dying by the blood of Samael. Thanks to that power I was able to return to life. Issei 2, you died from the weight, that means I did too. Issei 1, right now you're dead. That's why I was able to bring you here to the soul world. Issei 2, no, that can't be. I promised Rias that I would come back no matter what. Issei 1, I also promised him, and I intend to keep it. I will also help you return. Issei 2, great. Issei 1, but first, let me see your memories. He touched the other Issei's forehead with his fingers. Issei, I don't understand what's happening. Issei 1 continually saw Issei 2's memories. He reviewed them over and over again. But nothing. He felt nothing, he understood nothing, as if something was preventing him from understanding those feelings. Issei, damn, why is this happening? At that moment, a bright yellow man appeared. Naturally, beings with absolute power should not have something like feelings. Issei, the one above all. In person. Issei, but why deny feelings? Supreme beings can have that volatility that comes with feelings, or at least they shouldn't, he said while thinking about a certain person. Issei, that's it. Unfair? Senseless? Cruel? Maybe. Issei, is there any way I can get my feelings back? Even if I have to become a normal human. That's why I'm here. You took the heart of the universe, which is a fraction of my power, and with that you inherited a bit of my personality. But you didn't know the consequences of the power, you just wanted to get back to your friends. Issei, that's right. That's why I decided to help you again, but my personality and powers go hand in hand, so instead of taking away my personality and powers, what I'm going to do is amplify the feelings you already have. Issei, amplify my feelings, please do. Okay, just give me a second. He placed his palm on Issei's head. Issei, ha 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 ha, this is amazing. Maybe I'm over-exaggerating it? Issei, no, sorry, it's just that I haven't felt like this in a long time. I feel great. Perfect, now what are you going to do with that? He asked while pointing at the other Issei. Issei, don't worry, I'll take care of it. Well, it seems that everything is resolved, right? Issei, yes sir. Then I'll leave. I hope to see you again one day. A pay dragon, you are an interesting variant to watch the supreme being disappeared. Issei, hee, good. Now that I have my feelings back, let's see what I'll do with myself. In reality, in the middle of space, Issei, who was holding the soul gem, opened his eyes. Issei, what can I do? Right now there are two, coexisting. It would seem ugly to leave him dead or destroy his soul, but if I revive him, maybe I also want to return to my friends. While he was immersed in his thoughts, he could not help but feel a familiar energy. Wait a moment, is that the heart of the universe? How is it possible? Ha 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 ha, who would have thought? I already know what I'll do with him, but first I have to erase from his mind the conversation we had. Wait, does that mean that my memories of the dimensional gap after dying are not true? So my future self also altered my memories? How complicated, but to continue with the tradition, I will do it too. Issei altered Issei 2's memories and released his soul towards the heart of the universe. Issei, that's all. Now I'm a little nervous. What am I supposed to say when I get back? Hello, how are you? Hey guys. I'm back. I'll make something up, but first I have to go rescue Ophis. Now we're friends, right? The blue cloud covered Issei again. 2 days had passed since the chestnut's death. The underworld was in disarray. Monsters were ravaging the entire underworld ecosystem as they marched towards the cities. The Gremry group had moved to the Gremry castle. Morale was at rock bottom. Akeno, who had lost her life support, was sitting on the sofa in the castle's guest room while maintaining a blank expression. Rias locked herself in her room without leaving Issei's pawn pieces. Similarly, Asia had been crying in a guest room. Zenobia and Irina had gone to heaven to report the situation of the underworld. They were unaware of Issei's death, just like Ross Weiss and Gasper, who had gone to train to become stronger. Kaneko was acting strong, but after a brief argument with Ravel, she broke down, unable to hold back her tears, and Ravel gently hugged her. Barakiel, Akeno's father, had gone to see his daughter. When the girl saw him, she seemed to recover some of her emotions and began to cry on her father's shoulders. Right now, in Rias's room were her knight Kibiyuto and Serorg Bale. Serorg. His eyes are swollen and red, he must have been crying a lot. The demon sighed. What a depressing scene. Rias. Rias, Serorg, why did you come? She said with a listless voice. Serorg. I received a call from Sona Citri. Come on, the underworld is in crisis. What's the point of having strong servants if they're here and they're useless? We're young, powerful demons. We have to show off and prove it to the people who admire us. Rias looked away. Rias, that's none of my business. Serorg, how low have you fallen just because your man's whereabouts are unknown? You were supposed to be a strong woman, Rias. Enraged, the girl threw a pillow at him. Rias, I don't care about the world without Issei. To me, he was more important than anyone else living without him would be. Serorg, and you really think he's dead? Rias's sad expression changed for a second and Serorg smiled at that. I'll ask you another question. Have you made love to that man? Rias, no, we haven't made love yet. Serorg, ha 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 ha. Then there's no way Issei Hayato would die. Not when he hasn't even made love to you yet. Kiba, his words aren't 100% reliable, but his persuasive power is very great. Serorg, I'll wait on the battlefield. You definitely have to come, Rias, along with the Gremry group. How could you call yourselves comrades of the Issei dragon if you don't protect the children of the underworld that man tried to protect? As the demon approached the door to leave, someone else opened the door from outside. Kaneko, Bucho. He's back, said the little Nikomata while crying with a smile. Asia was also with Kaneko. Kiba, Kaneko-chan, you're not referring to. Kaneko, come quickly. In the main hall of the castle, Kiba, Kaneko, Akeno, Rias, Asia, Barakiel, Serorg, Ravel, and gathered. Serorg, she is. Barakiel, the dragon of infinity Ophis. The dragon sat on the sofa with her expressionless gaze. Kiba, how did she get here? Asia, watch TV. Everyone turned their gaze to the screen. Reporter, the giant monsters that appeared continue to advance towards the cities. Our defense forces have been unable to do anything against the monster in front of us. Wait, what is that? Hurry up and record it. Look, a mysterious person appeared in the sky. It seems to be observing the terrain, huh? Now it's looking at us. The mysterious person teleported right in front of the camera. Issei, they're broadcasting, aren't they? Rias slowly approached the television, as did Akeno and Asia. Reporter, why yes. Akeno's blank expression changed to a smile as tears flowed from her eyes. Asia covered her mouth in surprise as she cried as well. Rias fell to the ground on her knees while, like Akeno, she cried while smiling. Kiba, deep down I knew you weren't dead, he thought as he wiped away the small tears he had. Issei began to speak in front of the camera. Issei, that's great. Okay, this makes me a little embarrassed. I'm not even sure if you're watching me. I hope so. What I mean is, yes, it's me, Issei. I'm alive and I'm fine. Chapter 4, Battle in the Underworld. Previously. Kiba, deep down I knew you weren't dead, he thought as he wiped away the small tears he had. Issei began to speak in front of the camera. Issei, that's great. Okay, this makes me a little embarrassed. I'm not even sure if you're watching me. I hope so. What I mean is, yes, it's me, Issei. I'm alive and I'm fine. At the moment. Issei, I'm sorry we can't meet again under better conditions, but there's currently a huge crisis and I'm going to fight to defend my beloved's home. I understand if you decide not to fight, but please, if you're those strong people I met, help me protect the people of the underworld while I take care of the monsters. With that said, Issei disappears. Serorg, ha! I knew it, that man couldn't die. I'll go to the battlefield. What will you do, Rias? Rias, I places her hand on her chest, barely holding back her tears. Grafia, Miss Rias. The maid entered the room, wearing a battle suit that showed off all her attributes. Rias, Grafia, what's going on? Grafia, we received a report. Lord Ajuka Beelzebub is being attacked by the demons of the ancient Demon King's faction. His brother wants the Gremry group to go help. Isn't that the dragon goddess Ophis? Rias, came with Issei. He's alive, she said with a smile. Grafia, the Sekiryudia is alive? That's good news, but as for her brother's request. Rias, it's okay, you asked me what I'm going to do, right? She turned to see Serorg. It's obvious I'm going to fight, she said with a serious expression. Serorg smiled, turned around and left the room. Help please. A little girl was pleading for help next to the body of another person who had been crushed by a rock. The girl had wounds all over her body, a trickle of blood running down her face. Behind her, a giant monster over 100 meters tall could be seen along with a massive horde of human-sized monsters. Those human-sized monsters were moving quickly, and a portion of those monsters approached the girl dangerously. And no. She closed her eyes tightly, waiting for her end granted by the monsters. But after a few seconds she opened her eyes. Since nothing happened, the monsters were paralyzed in the air. Suddenly they began to compact. The sound of their bones breaking was disturbing for the girl, when they were nothing more than a small sphere. An invisible force crashed those spheres with force against the ground. Issei, oh, excuse me, that was scary, right? He approached and placed his hand on the girl's head. Better forget that. After a few seconds the girl fainted. He's your father, huh? With a movement of his fingers he removed the rock from the man's body. Come on, friend, it's not time to die. He placed his hands on his chest. A yellow light covered the man. A few seconds passed, and the man started breathing again, and his wounds healed. He also healed the girl's wounds, carried them both in his arms, and opened a portal. "These things keep coming back," said a demon as he charged up a demonic aura attack that he launched at the humanoid monsters. "Keep attacking! You have to stop sometime," said another demon, launching a massive burst of demonic aura. "Damn! There are too many of them!" A demon was about to be attacked by a large horde of humanoid monsters, but they were incinerated by splendid flames. "Don't worry. The men of the House of Phoenix have arrived," said a man wearing clothes fit for a noble Razor. "Help those over there." Razor understood. He raised his hand and charged an attack of powerful flames that he launched against the monsters. "Roval-sama," said a wounded demon. "Roval, now we will begin a counterattack," he said, approaching the wounded demon. He took a vial from his clothes, opened it, and poured it on the demon, healing him of his wounds. Phoenix tears. "Roval, prepare to fight. This is going to get ugly," he said, looking at the giant monster. "Razor, I really wouldn't want to face that Bandersnatch monster." "Roval, start acting like a man. Razor, if we don't stop him, he's going to destroy this city," he said with a serious expression. "Razor, when you put it like that." At that moment, Issei appeared in front of those demons. They all stood on guard and prepared their attacks. "Issei, stop, stop, stop. I'm not an enemy, okay? I'm Rias Gremory's pawn." "Roval, the young Red Emperor Dragon? Know you were dead?" "Issei, yes, but it's a long story. By the way, these people need protection," he said, pointing to the people he brought with him. Some demons approached to take the man and his daughter. Issei's eyes moved until they noticed the other Phoenix Razor. "Razor, Issei Hayado." He became a little upset and stepped back slightly. "Roval, I see there's still a bit of trauma in Razor." "Razor, I'm not traumatized. It's just that he was supposedly dead, and now he's here, that's all it is, okay?" "Issei, you look good, you look good. I hope you've stopped being an insufferable idiot." "Roval, he's improved. Now he's just stupid." "Issei, that's something." "Razor, you two are the fools." "Roval, well, since the young Red Emperor Dragon is here, we should be able to face that monster." "Issei, well, that's a bit complicated." "Roval, why?" "Issei, let's just say I don't have the Red Emperor Dragon with me anymore, but let's leave this for later, and don't worry, I'll take care of that monster." "Razor, but if you don't have your sacred gear anymore, how will you do it?" "Issei, you're calm and I'm nervous." He turned around to look at the giant monster. "Don't come closer," he said with a stern voice. Then white wings emerged from his shoulder blades. He spread them and moved them a little and then flew away at great speed. "Razor, brother, those white wings, he was reincarnated as an angel?" "Roval, no, he didn't have a divine aura, it's something else. I wouldn't recommend you mess with him again." "Razor, as if I didn't know that." "Issei, I hadn't noticed, but now I feel weaker than before." The boy looked from the sky at the new horde of humanoid monsters created from the flesh of the giant monster. Slowly he descended to the ground, his angelic wings disappeared, his clothes fell apart, his skin acquired a light blue color resembling ice. And with a smile he said, "Issei, perish before the embrace of eternal cold." He extended his arm and a gigantic wave of ice instantly covered the entire horde of humanoid monsters and the Bandersnatch monster itself. Issei let out an icy sigh, closed his eyes, and his skin returned to normal. His clothes regenerated around him. It's not that the ice simply covered them. All their cells froze instantly. He approached one of the humanoid monsters, raised his fist and punched hard. The frozen monster shattered into pieces. Issei extended his arms, tensed them, and lifted dirt and rocks that compacted into a huge mass on top of the giant monster. "Issei, I'm actually still very powerful." He quickly lowered his arms, and the giant mass of earth and stones hit the large frozen monster. With that, it shattered the monster into pieces, and those pieces shattered the smaller monsters. The demons in the distance could not believe what they were seeing. The Bandersnatch, the giant monster that they could not harm, was easily defeated by the supposedly dead Sekiryutai, who was no longer the Sekiryutai. Issei disappeared, leaving behind a blue smoke. He appeared in front of the Phoenix brothers, also leaving a blue smoke. Issei, well, that's all for here, now I must go somewhere else. Razor, wait. What was all that? Not even ultimate class demons could defeat that thing but you. Issei, this isn't the best time to explain this, but I could sum it up like this. I'm the strongest now. So don't worry, I'll take care of the rest. He disappeared, leaving behind a blue smoke. Roval, do I smell sulfur? Issei, so if there were 13 super monsters, he was on top of the tallest building in the city, watching the demons attack another Bandersnatch monster, although now there are only 11 left, equal to the one I defeated and one that is heading to the capital, which is the biggest. Telepathy is great now, to take care of them all at once. What power should I use? He brought his hand to his chin to think seriously. After a few seconds his eyes lit up. That's it. That power is very good. He closed his eyes, concentrated, and managed to split. He created another Issei at his side. Issei, wow, this is great. Issei, it feels a bit strange to see myself as someone else. Issei, good observation, but now we have a little problem on our hands. Issei, problem? Okay, tell me your plan. The main Issei created another 10 clones of himself. Issei, listen. Each of you will go to the location of a Bandersnatch monster. I will go to the location of the Jabberwocky monster, protect the demons and save the underworld. And you, he pointed at a clone, you take care of the monster in this city. Issei, why me? Let him take care of it. He pointed at another clone. Issei, you're going to face a Bandersnatch anyway, stop throwing a tantrum. Issei, true. Issei, shut up. Now go, damn it. All the clones and the main one disappeared in blue smoke. Issei, TSK fine, but I'll use that power. Disappeared in blue smoke. Keep attacking. We can't let them get any closer, said a demon, attacking the monsters with all his power. At that moment Issei appeared in front of the demons. Issei, go away. Who are you? You won't tell us to stop protecting this city. Issei, I said, go away. He turned around and placed his fingers on his temple. The demons quickly disappeared in magic circles. Good. Now it should be safe to do it. He extended his hands against the monsters and they began to explode. It's still not enough, but I must be careful not to generate a Chernobyl 2.0. The explosions continued, getting stronger and stronger. They weren't simple explosions. No, they were at an atomic level, breaking the connection between atoms, thus causing the structure of the monsters' bodies to fracture. Issei, nice fireworks. Now he pointed his hands towards the giant monster and concentrated all his power. And what happened was, KLUM! The gigantic explosion shook 5 kilometers around. Issei broke hundreds of connections between atoms. In addition to crumbling the monster's body structure, the explosion charred the remains of the Bandersnatch. Issei, that filled me with joy, he said with a big smile of satisfaction. Issei, Yon, do I really have to do it? He said as he walked through the streets of a city. He had a tired expression. When he got to the center of the city, he met some demons. Oh? Who is he? He said with annoyance. I don't know, maybe a servant of some demon? Whatever it is, kill him. Our orders are to kill all the demons we see. For the true demon kings, said a demon who quickly approached to attack Issei. Issei, stop! The demon froze just before hitting the brown-haired boy. What was that? Issei, you too, stay still. He placed his hand on the face of the demon that was going to attack him. He slowly turned into stone. Then he crushed the demon's rock head. The process was repeated with the other paralyzed demons, so a coup d'état. How annoying. Issei, he asked me if he should kill them, and Issei, with a completely celestial body resembling ice, was in the middle of dozens of demons. Or maybe I should just let them go. Yes, the freezing never heals. When they feel cold, they will carry this pain. Like a constant reminder, he approached a demon and separated his arm from his shoulder with ease. And Issei was running on the roofs of some buildings. He was going in the direction of the monsters. When he reached the edge of the roof, he took a big jump. Issei, call me! His body ignited with a powerful fire. With that, he could fly quickly. The closer he got to the giant monster, he took care of the smaller ones with powerful flames that he threw from his hands. I'm a bucking flamethrower, he said in a state of euphoria. His flames only grew more powerful. When he was close to the giant monster, he used the flames that came out of his hands to increase his speed. With that, he managed to penetrate the Bandersnatch's skin, and inside it began to radiate more fire. Eat my bucking supernova, idiot! He expelled more and more fire from his body, heating the inside of the monster. And again, kaboom! Issei expelled flames that incinerated everything within 1 kilometer around. Disclaimer 1. It didn't have the full power of a supernova. He said it in the heat of the moment. XDDDD, Betum TSSS. Disclaimer 2. He made sure no one was around. Issei. Amazing, that thing sure looks dangerous, he said with a wide smile, watching how the giant monster had arrived to the city. It was destroying buildings while the small monsters ran through the streets. This is exciting. But how should I fight? Ice transmutation, laser beams, there are so many fun options. Issei goes down to the streets. The small monsters run towards him. He clenches his fists tightly. From the space between his knuckles, 3 metal claws came out. Issei launched himself to attack the monsters. His movements were wild and careless, but he successfully cut down his enemies while not receiving a scratch himself. After finishing off a dozen monsters, he looked ahead and retracted his claws, closed his eyes for a few seconds, and when he opened them again, a powerful red beam came out of his eyes. He shot for a few more seconds until he closed his eyes again. There was no enemy left in front of him. Issei, of this is so funny. While he was laughing, he could hear a child's voice. Shut up. You're the ones who will never win. Ha 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 ha, did you hear that? Kids really don't know what they're talking about. Wow, you should teach him some manners. The Mao doesn't care about the education of young demons? Why, you won't get away with this. And what makes you think that? King Xerxes and the Issei dragon will defeat them. But the Issei dragon is dead. No matter what they say, I won't believe what a villain says. See for yourself. Find your Issei dragon in the afterlife. The demon launched a demonic aura attack at the boy, a cloud of smoke rising from the impact. When the cloud of smoke disappeared, the child was still safe and sound. How is? Hey, stop playing, just kill him. What happened? The boy asked himself, surprised. Issei, the boy is right. The Issei dragon will defeat them, he said, appearing next to the boy. Don't look, boy. This is going to get ugly. He raised his index finger and fired a powerful beam of energy that disintegrated the demons. Are you really the Issei dragon? Issei. Of course, he said with a smile, while showing his red gauntlet on his left hand. I was so scared. Tears sprang from the boy's eyes. He hugged Issei tightly. Issei, yeah, you shouldn't be afraid, he patted the boy on the head. Those demons were very scary, but I knew the Issei dragon would come to save me. That's why I was brave. Issei, well done. Now that I'm here, you shouldn't be afraid. He closed his eyes and placed his fingers on his temple. By concentrating, he could hear the thoughts of the children of the underworld. I'm scared. Very scared. Monsters are scary. I want it to end. I want my parents to come back safe and sound. Please, Mr. Xerxes. The Issei dragon will come to save us, right? Please, someone help me. Issei, are you scared? Yes. 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 I'm very scared. Issei, don't be afraid. The Issei dragon will go save you wherever you are. But you shouldn't cry. That's not cool kids thing. Issei, gosh, those guys really make a big fuss. He could see 2 big explosions in the distance, and a giant tower of thread that suddenly appeared. In my case, this is more than enough. He made a black sword appear in his hands. I take that sword and stick it in the ground. Its shadow spread, and from it began to come out some black creatures in droves. Issei's horde went to attack the horde of the giant beast. Hey, look! Some black beasts appeared behind us, said one of the demons who were fighting. Damn! We've already got our hands full with those coming our way. Complaining doesn't solve anything. Just keep attacking. The demons prepared to attack both groups of beasts, but the beasts summoned by Issei didn't attack the demons. They ignored them and attacked the other beasts. Issei, rest soldiers, I'll take care of it from now on, he said, walking casually among the demons while swinging his sword. Issei, Please, they won't be able to pass through my shield. The boy had a force field covering him from demonic aura attacks. That defensive magic is a pain. How is it possible that we can't get through it? Issei, have you ever seen Chainsaw Man? He made the sign to summon the demon fox, and a red fox head appeared from above, devouring the demons. It doesn't matter, they probably won't like it. Issei, why are we such idiots? Everyone is using such flashy powers and trying their best. He generated a small sphere of golden light on the tip of his index finger. They mold the power to use it in different ways, an unnecessary process that only weakens our capabilities. Why do that when raw power is stronger? The golden sphere disappeared and the golden glow curved his right hand. He extended his arm towards the beasts, and a powerful ray of energy shot out, vaporizing the beasts effortlessly. Do you understand me? He turned to see the dragons that were behind him. The dragon King Tannen and his servants were attacking the giant monster before Issei appeared. It seems not. Well, it doesn't matter. Now how should I take care of you? He looked at the Bandersnatch with an arrogant smile. I guess I'll do it differently from the others. Issei. Oh wow, I didn't even have to act. The boy was watching how the army led by Emperor Belial had finished off one of the Bandersnatch monsters, and I was in the mood to fight. Well, I could go help the others. He disappeared in a small explosion of blue smoke. The mouse Seraphal Leviathan was attacking one of the Bandersnatch monsters. Everything around her had turned into a world of ice because of her demonic powers. Issei, Seraphal-sama can be scary. From the unfrozen parts of the giant monster came many smaller monsters that launched themselves to attack the Mao, but were frozen by a stream of ice coming from Issei. Seraphal, who are you? She asked upon seeing the boy's eyes form. Issei, I'm not anyone suspicious. He slowly returned to his human form. I'm Issei. Seraphal, Issei-kun, you were supposed to be. Issei, it's a long story. For now it's better to finish that thing off. He extended his hand towards the monster. He was about to freeze it completely, but another Issei appeared in front of him. Issei, hey, do you need help? An army killed the monster I was supposed to destroy. I still feel like destroying something. The Mao couldn't believe what she was seeing in front of her. Seraphal, wait, what's going on here? Issei, no friend, I don't need your help. Maybe someone else needs you. Issei, okay, disappeared again. Issei, that's also a long story, he said, seeing Seraphal's confused expression. Issei, what a great show, he said while watching an army of yokais against hordes of small monsters. Their leader, Yasaka, attacked with flames that immediately incinerated the small monsters. Behind her was her daughter Kunu, who fervently supported her. Kunu, mother! Don't give up! You can take them all down! Yasaka continued defeating the monsters as she approached the largest one. Issei, should I interfere? I asked on TV for them to fight. I know I told Rias and the others, but maybe those words reached more people. I guess I'll only act when necessary. At that moment, an Issei appeared next to him. Issei, do you need help? Issei, why are you here? Have you already finished off your monster? The other Issei shook his head. Issei, an army of demons killed my monster, and almost all the others have already finished off their monsters. Only a Bandersnatch and the Jabberwocky remain. Issei, so there's only this one left, huh? Maybe I should act now, he said, staring at the yokai's battle against monsters. Why don't you go to Jabberwockies? Maybe Issei needs your help. Issei, yes, I'm going there now. See you, Issei. He disappeared again in an explosion of blue smoke. While all the Bandersnatch were being reduced to nothing, with the Jabberwocky it was different. The chimera-type monster could withstand the attacks of the strongest nobility of the underworld. The servants of Mao Surzek's Lucifer could not land a critical hit on the giant super monster. Even Graphia was fighting. Issei, damn, I don't know who is more destructive, the monster or Graphia. Graphia's demonic powers were immense and destructive. For something she was the queen of the Mao and wife of Surzek. I want to finish off the monster, but he turned his gaze to the other side. On the other side of the demonic capital were the Gremry and Citri groups fighting against 3 members of the hero faction. No, I must trust them. I'll finish off the monster first. At that moment an Issei appeared next to him. Issei, hey, what's up? Issei, why are you here? Issei, I was left wanting to fight because an army of demons killed the monster I was supposed to defeat. And don't worry, now only this bad boy remains. He pointed at the Jabberwocky. I think so. Issei, you know what? Okay, you can take care of that monster over there, while I. Issei, I know, go, you've been waiting a long time for this moment. Issei, we've been waiting for this for a long time, or are you going to tell me you wouldn't like to meet them? Issei, I'm just a copy of you. I know my place now, go. I'll take care of it. Issei, heh, thanks friend. He flew away from the place. Issei began his warm-up, stretching his arms, cracking his bones. Issei, maximum effort. He collided his fist with his palm. Chapter 5: The Reunion. Previously. Issei, why are you here? Issei, I was left wanting to fight because an army of demons killed the monster I was supposed to defeat, and don't worry, now only this bad boy remains. He pointed at the Jabberwocky. I think so. Issei, you know what? Okay, you can take care of that monster over there, while I. Issei, I know, go, you've been waiting a long time for this moment. Issei, heh, thanks friend. He flew away from the place. Issei, maximum effort. He collided his fist with his palm. At the moment, Issei was flying through the streets, but stopped in his tracks to see his reflection in the glass of a building. Issei, I don't look weird, do I? He touched his brown hair that now had several white strands, and my clothes. He touched the ragged brown tunic he was wearing. I can't present myself like this. He closed his eyes and concentrated. A golden glow covered him. When the glow stopped, Issei was wearing his security outfit. Issei, not bad. It looks a lot like the real one, he said before setting off again to meet up with his friends. Issei could already see his friends in the distance. Unconsciously increasing his flying speed, unable to contain his excitement, he landed in the spot between his friends and Jean of the hero faction. Issei, superhero landing. It's terrible for the knees and very impractical. Everyone does it. Everyone had expressions of surprise. Issei Hayato is back. He spread his arms in excitement. Why is no one making a sound or coming to hug me? He looked down at his friends' expressions. Almost all of them had expressions of surprise and confusion. Hey, I'm Issei, he said while taking off his armor's helmet. Tits. Rias, I see. Asia, I see San. Kiba, Issei-kun. Akeno, I see Kun. Kaneko, I see Senpai. Rosweiss, is that you, Issei? Zenobia, Issei. Irina, Issei-kun. Sona, Hayato-kun. Saji, you're alive, Hayato. Everyone shouted his name. Most had unshed tears in their eyes. Issei, was it really necessary to confirm my identity by saying tits? I'm a terrible person. As Issei lamented his filthy existence, Asia, Akeno, and Kaneko ran to hug him. Asia, I see San. I see San. I see San. Kaneko, welcome back, senpai. Akeno, I see Kun. Don't leave me again. I don't want to live in a world without you. Issei, I'm not going anywhere anymore. He gently stroked Akeno's head. Zenobia, I'm not going to cry. I knew it. I knew that the man I chose wouldn't die so easily. The girl tried to hold back her tears. Irina, I do want to cry. Issei-kun is alive. Unlike Zenobia, Irina let out all the tears she had. Issei gave a warm smile to Irina and Zenobia. At that moment he felt a hit on his back. It was Saji. Saji, idiot! I heard you died. He was crying so hard, his nose was even running. Issei, yeah, big baby, you did well while I was gone. He placed a hand on Saji's head like a true dragon king. Issei looked to the side and his gaze met Serorg's. Both smiled and nodded. Serorg pointed to the side. When Issei turned to the place Serorg pointed, he saw Rias, who was walking towards him while crying. Saji and the other girls walked away. Issei also walked towards Rias. Rias, I'm glad you're back. She placed her hand on Issei's cheek. Issei, I belong by your side. He placed his hand on Rias's hand. His other hand he placed on Rias's waist to bring her closer to his body. Without warning he captured Rias's lips in a warm kiss, although that kiss quickly increased its intensity. When they separated, Rias had a red layer adorning her cheeks. Rias, I see. Issei, it seemed like years had passed since we'd seen each other. I couldn't hold back the urge. Rias, I'm so happy. She comfortably placed her head on Issei's chest. The nice atmosphere was interrupted by a scream of pain. Issei turned to see. The scream came from Jean. Kiba, you were distracted, so I took the opportunity to rescue the hostage. The knight landed next to Issei. Welcome back, Issei-kun. Thanks to you I was able to save this child. He lowered the child to the ground. A paid dragon. I heard your voice in my head. I knew you'd come save me. Issei. He placed his hand on the boy's head. Wait a minute, did he hear my voice in his head? It must have been one of them. Well done, handsome boy, high-fived Kiba. Jean, I didn't think you'd come back alive from your battle with Shalba. You're truly terrifying, Sekiryutai. Issei, you have no idea what I had to go through to get back. He turned his head to see Rias, but it was totally worth it. Jean, I have no other choice now, even if it takes more years off my life. She took out an injection gun and a small bottle of Phoenix Tears. Kiba, be careful, Issei. She can increase the power of her sacred gear with that injection. Issei, really? This thing looks interesting, and Issei appeared behind the group while holding the injection. Jean, what? When was it that she had a surprised expression? The injection disappeared from her hands. Issei, wow, can I borrow it? Another Issei appeared and took the injection. How do you think it works? Issei, I don't know, I'm not a chemist. Sona, what's going on? There are 3 Hayato-kun? Issei, a long story. Zenobia, now we have 3 Isseis? Zenobia could only imagine the possibilities. Issei, how are things going? Issei, enemies neutralized, cities restored, only our giant friend over there is missing. Irina, 4. Issei, I knew you'd be here. I couldn't find 2 of us. Asia, 5. Issei-san? Issei, how strange, one of them is in the Gremry mansion, the other is very, very far away. Kaneko, what's happening, senpai? Akeno, how come there are more of you? Rias, I see? Serorg, this is definitely something unique. Issei, they are me, I can split myself, I'm something like a multiple man now. While Issei was giving his explanation, Jean had other things on her mind. Jean, I must escape. I can't win, I must wait for Cao Cao's arrival. As everyone was focused on Issei, Jean took advantage and generated a rain of swords directed at the young demons. Noticing the rain of swords, everyone stood on guard to generate shields, but the swords stopped in the air. Upon closer inspection they could see an Issei flying above them. Issei, despite being sacred weapons, they are still made of metal. He molded the swords and turned them into shackles that tied Jean to the ground. Issei, what a pain, yawn, I want to rest. Issei, this was all fun, he said with a big smile. Issei, okay, it's time to go back. He moved away from Rias a little and spread his arms. Issei, that sounds good. And Issei was walking with difficulty, he had burns all over his body. Issei, what happened to you? Issei, why don't you heal? Issei, that's right. His burns slowly healed. Turns out exploding into a supernova isn't such a good idea. Issei, you're an idiot. Issei, shut up and come back. The Isseis neatly merged with the main one in a scene that left those present surprised. Issei, so many new memories are giving me a headache. Suddenly a loud sound was heard and forced everyone to cover their ears. Kiba, what is that sound? Kaneko, it hurts. Rias, what is that? With a snap from Issei, a barrier formed around the area. Issei, that idiot. A few minutes before. Issei, maximum effort. He collided his fist with his palm. Issei left a small crater in the ground as he pushed off to fly towards the monster. Issei, I need to protect the city from my attack. Putting up a barrier is tedious, I know. He increased his speed. The giant monster was being confronted by Surzek's nobility, but it seems they were having a bad time. The monster received a powerful beam of energy that made it retreat a little. Graphia, what? Issei, Graphia-san. Graphia, Issei? I'm glad you're alive. Issei, thanks, but let's leave the happy reunions for later. There's something I want to do now and I need your help. Graphia, I'm listening, what should we do? She asked with a serious expression. Issei, I need you to send the monster into the sky and then I want everyone to move away so I can use my attack. Grafia, I see, that's very simple to achieve, but how far should we go? Issei smiled. Issei, as far away as possible. Grafia, consider it done. She spread her wings and flew away. When she stopped near the monster, she began to release a large amount of demonic aura that lowered the temperature of the area. Suji-san, cut off Jabberwocky's legs please, she ordered a samurai wearing a Shinsengumi Heiori. Suji. Understood, Grafia Dano. At an incredible speed, the samurai approached the monster's legs and separated them from its body. As the monster began to fall, a magic circle was created below it, and the magic circle launched it upwards. Then all the demons that were nearby were transported into a magic circle. Issei, it's ready, now it's my turn. He placed himself under the monster, raised his face towards it, gathered a lot of oxygen in his lungs and let out the most powerful scream of his life. The sound became visible. The powerful sound waves slowly disintegrated the giant monster. The overwhelming sound spread throughout the city, but its destructive properties were focused on the monster. Issei, another job well done. Issei was contemplating the sky after defeating the giant monster. He couldn't hear anything but a satisfactory silence. What is that? As he used his power, he ascended to a new level. Then he could hear something beyond I hear you, and upon reaching that new level he could hear me? Who are you? Currently. Issei, that idiot, why didn't he cast a barrier? Issei's arms turned golden and a golden glow covered everyone present. Is everyone okay? Rias, I do. Kaneko, I'm fine. Asia, I'm fine. Issei-san. Zenobia, fine. Irina, super good. Akeno, I'm better now. Kiba, yes, thanks Issei. Rosweiss, I feel fine. Saji, I'm perfect. Sona, thank you. Haida-kun. Serorg, don't worry about me. Jean, my wounds, are they healed? Even my body has returned to normal. You're truly terrifying, Security. I expected you to die alongside Shalba, but here you are, stronger than ever. Chow Chow appeared before the group, his signature spear resting on his shoulder. Chow Chow, the Gremry group's growth is certainly abnormal. Ignoring Heracles, Jean should have used the Chaos Rush injection, but she doesn't look hurt. Did that girl cure her? Plus, she's chained by her own swords? Issei, you are very brave to come here. He took Rias's hand to calm her down. Everyone became tense as they felt the power of the user of the most powerful weapon. Chow Chow, from the information I received from the ancient Demon King's faction, Shalba was supposed to have Samuel's poison with him. Issei, yeah, I had some trouble with that, but not even the poison of a legendary dragon slayer was able to kill me. Something that fell from the sky and crashed into the ground attracted everyone's attention. It was someone they knew, the Supreme Level Soul Reaper, Pluto, the Grim Reaper. The subject's robe seemed damaged. Up in the sky was Issei with Ophis in his arms. That Issei came down and stood next to the main Issei. Issei, what happened? Issei, I ran into some Soul Reapers after defeating my monster and found out they were looking for Ophis. So I went to Rias's house and found him about to touch Ophis. Issei, I see. Issei, also that bastard hurt Ravel. Issei, what made you? Issei, she tried to protect Ophis, but I healed her and left her to rest. Issei, well done. Issei fused with the other Issei. Chow Chow, you're full of surprises, Security. Issei, I'm glad you two are here, so I can kill two birds with one stone. Chow Chow, don't get too carried away. He stood on guard, ready to attack. Issei, are you okay, Ophis? Ophis, yes, the other Security saved me and also the blonde girl with drill hair. Issei, it's okay. He chuckled and turned his gaze towards Chow Chow, but another Issei had his arm resting on Chow Chow's shoulder. Issei, why so angry, Chow Chow? He looked at him with an arrogant expression. Chow Chow, now you can have fun? You're more annoying than I thought. He swung his spear and tried to hit Issei, but he dodged it by teleporting, appearing behind Chow Chow, with one hand on his own throat. Issei, control him, control him. He removed his hand from his throat and said you. His voice was less than a whisper, but the sound waves abruptly through Chow Chow against the building. Issei, idiot! Don't use that here. He sounded really annoyed. Issei, you take the fun out of life. He approached Issei and joined him again. Chow Chow, what happened in that artificial dimension? You shouldn't have powers like that. Issei, things happened. Pluto, Lord Hades ordered me to capture Ophis no matter what. It would be bad if I didn't follow my lord's order. The Reaper was expelling a creepy aura. Issei, Hades, huh? I should have a talk with that bag of bones. I won't let you take her. Old man, he put Ophis behind him. His eyes moved between his two opponents, and a smile appeared on his face. But I will be your opponent, Soul Reaper. A guy fell from the ground. He was wearing shiny white armor. You're not dead after all. Issei, and I see that you are fine, Vala chuckled. Valley, I feel like taking out my anger on someone for everything that happened in that artificial dimension, and I'll do it against you, Pluto. Pluto, I heard you sent Fenrir to Lord Hades' territory. Vala, since we have fangs that can kill a god, we should use them once in a while, right? Pluto, fine, I accept your challenge, descendant of the true Lucifer and Hakuryuku. Valley began to transform, recited his incantation, and began to emit a large amount of aura. His power was so great that some nearby objects began to be crushed by the aura. After a few seconds, Valley had a silver-white armor that emitted a powerful presence. Pluto was the first to go to attack, but his scythe was easily destroyed by Valley. Then the Hakuryuku hit him, throwing him into the air, and with its power compressed him until he became nothing. The ultimate level Soul Reaper was easily defeated by the Hakuryuku. Issei, that guy is amazing. Chow Chow, the celestial dragons of this time are really abnormal. I just want to confirm something. What are you, Sekiryuti? Issei, they make me say it so much that I'm even ashamed to say it. Well, once again, I am the strongest. Chow Chow, you're even more arrogant than before, so who's going to face me? You, Vala the Bale Boy? All three of you at once? Issei, no, he snapped his fingers and created a barrier around all his friends. Me is more than enough. Vala, do you know about his 7 orbs? Issei, it doesn't matter, he can't win anyway. Issei concentrated his power in his fist and launched a beam of energy at Chow Chow, but that man used one of his orbs to redirect it against Issei. Then his own power impacted him. When the dust dissipated, Issei was without a scratch. Chow Chow used another orb from which humanoid monsters came out. Issei, it's similar to Kiba's power. He summoned a black sword that he stuck into the ground and created humanoid creatures. Chow Chow, what is that sword? Issei, the first symbiote, a sword capable of killing gods. Chow Chow, and you use it so casually? Issei, ha ha ha. Yeah, I guess it's a little weird. The humanoid monsters began to destroy each other. Chow Chow used another orb to fly and get closer to Issei. Chow Chow was very fast. He quickly approached Issei and swung his spear to pierce Issei's body. And he succeeded. His spear pierced Issei's side. Chow Chow, ha! Rias, I see. Issei just smiled and took the spear with one hand, preventing Chow Chow from moving away. He concentrated some power in his fist and hit Chow Chow's abdomen. He flew out and hit hard against a building, making Chow Chow spit out a lot of blood. Issei, calm down, calm down. He took out his spear. His wound healed quickly and his armor was rebuilt. I'm fine. Chow Chow, how is that possible? He broke many of my bones. I have difficulty breathing. I can't feel my left arm and my right one is numb. Chow Chow's vision became increasingly blurred. Then a very injured person appeared next to Chow Chow. We have to go. That man had no arm and was missing an eye. Obviously, he was not in good condition. Chow Chow, George. George, we made a miscalculation. If we get involved with the celestial dragons, we'll end up like Shalba and the others. Chow Chow, you're right. George took Chow Chow's hand and activated a teleportation magic circle. Rias, I see. Stop them. Issei's barrier was too strong for them to break. Even Serorg and Vala couldn't. Issei, I'll let you go, but you better rethink your actions from now on, because I can easily finish you off, he said with an arrogant smile. With that, both men teleported away. Issei, yawn, I'm sleepy. With a snap, he dispelled the barrier. Rias, I see, why did you let him get away? That man is very dangerous. She approached Issei to hug her. Issei, it's okay. Vala, you've become so strong, I really want to fight you. Serorg, same here, I want to fight you again. Issei. Issei, I wouldn't recommend them to you, honestly, he said with a smile. Albion, hey Drake, how long are you going to be quiet? Said the white celestial dragon from Vala's armor. Drake? Issei stiffened for a second. He kissed Rias on the cheek and broke their hug. He moved away a little. His red armor transformed into his typical school uniform. Issei's expression changed to a serious one. Issei, I don't have Drake anymore. I'm not the security anymore. Chapter 6. Calm down. Issei, another job well done. He let out a sigh of relaxation. Issei was contemplating the sky after defeating the giant monster. He couldn't hear anything but a satisfactory silence. With this, it's over. Now it's time to rest. Issei spread his arms and lay down on the floor while still contemplating the sky. What is that? The more he used his powers, Issei's body and entire being adapted to the heart of the universe. Now he had ascended to another level. I can hear you now. He could even hear me? Wait, who's there? Where is there? No, that was a mistaken assumption. He still couldn't fully perceive me, but he wasn't far behind. Indeed, his cosmic consciousness was increasing at a considerable rate, but it wasn't something to worry about yet. Issei, I don't have Drake anymore. I'm not the security anymore. Vala, how did that happen? Issei, it's a bit complicated to explain. When you all escaped from the artificial dimension, I was able to defeat Xiaoba, but he poisoned me with Samael's blood. I died at that moment. I lost my body. My soul was about to disappear. I guess that's when Drake and I separated. Hey, it wasn't that complicated to explain. Haha, he said with a nervous smile at the end. Kiba, no, stop. Then how is it possible that you're here? With your body and all? Issei, I have no idea. I just woke up after everything and had my body back. But whatever happened, I'm glad. Serorg, ha ha ha. You sure are hard to kill. Valley, just like a cockroach. Issei, I'd rather not be compared to an insect. The three young men laughed at his comments. Issei narrates. After I finished the Bandersnatch that the original commission me to do, some Soul Reapers appeared, troops under the command of the god Hades, that damn walking skull. That's why I came to your domain, the land ruled by Hades. I was surprised to see Cerzex and Azazel reunited with the skull. I wondered where the great Lucifer was while his land was being razed to the ground, but I guess leaving Hades unguarded would also be dangerous. There were also other people, some members of Vala's team and another weird guy I don't know. He seems to be strong since he froze several Soul Reapers. I wonder who he is. It was so boring just waiting there. But public relations is his business. I was created to stop the threats, so I was glad when I saw them already leaving. It seems they've already received the news that everything has been resolved. Hades, such troublesome people. Cerzex comes to my kingdom, threatens me and leaves as if nothing happened. I guess it's because he's strong. I appeared in front of Hades, with a calm tone of voice and a calm aura. That should make him angry, right? Hades, who are you, brat? Huh? You don't recognize me? Maybe it's normal that you don't recognize me. After all, I'm wearing this tattered robe and have several strands of white hair. I am the one and only Security Issei Haido. Hades, Security, the news of your death spread throughout the supernatural world. Oh, so the news reached you too. That's right. My group and I were attacked by the Chaos Brigade, and although in the end we all got out safe and sound, something curious happened. Hades, and what could that be? It turns out that Cao Cao was able to summon a legendary angel capable of killing any dragon, and coincidentally that being can only be summoned with your permission. Hades, are you implying that? Hades, I hope your loyalty and cooperation continues to be directed towards the Alliance. I approached the Olympian god and placed a hand on his shoulder, or at least where his shoulder should be. You are an important god for the balance of things, so I would not want to have to relieve you of your duties. Hades, your accusations are ridiculous. I don't have. Ha ha ha, save it. I don't care about the excuses you make. I just came to advise you, and I came with an offering. I snapped my fingers and a large number of Soul Reaper bodies appeared behind me. Hades. It seems that these kids have mistaken the enemy. You must educate them better, Mr. Hades, otherwise it would seem that you really want to turn against the Alliance. I could see Hades tremble with anger, although he quickly changed his attitude to a calmer one. Hades, I see. I will take your words into account, Security. I thank you for bringing these Soul Reapers without killing them. Of course, we are allies after all, aren't we? Hades, you're right. Well, that was all. See you later. I turned around and walked out of there with a victorious smile. Hades, why? Why do I feel this? Such an overwhelming power difference. I feel like I couldn't harm him even if I risked my life. The celestial dragons of this era are truly abnormal. After the whole situation was resolved, the Gremry group headed to Rias's family mansion. Shortly after, Serzex and Azazel also arrived at the mansion. Azazel, Issei. You're not a ghost, are you? Issei, do I look like a ghost to you? Serzex, I'm glad you're okay, Issei. Azazel, a bad weed never dies, that's what they say. Issei, huh? How bad you are, sensei. Azazel, ha ha ha. It's good to have you back. It was like everyone was going to die from sadness. Serzex, yes, especially Rias. It's nice to see that she's not moping in her room anymore. Azazel, yes, but now it looks like a koala clinging to a branch, and it's not the only one. Azazel pointed out the curious situation Issei was in. The boy was sitting on the sofa in the main room, but Rias was hugging him with her arms around his neck. The beautiful Akeno was also hugging him, but she surrounded Issei's torso and rested her head on his chest. In addition to that, the little Kaneko was sitting on top of his legs. Issei, they've been like this since we got here. Rias, if I let go, it might disappear again. Akeno, I can't live without being with Issei anymore. Kaneko, Issei-senpai's lap is very comfortable. Azazel, the hard life of a harem. Serzex, but it seems that they are not the only ones who want to be with Issei. The Mao looked to one side, and the door framed the other girls from the Gremry group, and some others were looking out. Issei, I think I need to go to the bathroom, he said, trying to get out of that situation. Rias, you can't. The voluptuous lady pressed her face against Issei's neck. Akeno, do it here. She hugged Issei tighter. Kaneko, Issei-senpai, don't you dare. Issei, help, he said, looking at Azazel and Serzex. Azazel, okay, could you lend me Issei for a few minutes? Rias, definitely not. Akeno, Issei belongs to me. Rias, huh? No, Issei is mine. She let go of Issei and stood in front of Akeno. Akeno, it's clear that he prefers me. She also released Issei and stood in front of Rias. Rias, that's not true, is it? You love me more, right, Issei? Issei, what did you want to talk to me about, sensei? Azazel, I just want more details on how you defeated those monsters. Serzex, I'm interested in that too. Let's go chat in another room. Issei, let's go. The three men walked calmly out of the room. Rias, Issei. Don't go. Issei stopped at the redhead's request. Issei, excuse me, but there is also something I would like to ask Sensei and Serzex-sama in private. I promise I will return soon. Rias, it's okay, she said with a puppy expression in the rain. Serzex, Azazel and Issei went to a room a little further away from all the normal movement in the mansion. One of the maids brought them some tea and they sat on comfortable individual sofas. Serzex, so did you want to talk about something, Issei? He asked after taking a sip of his tea. Issei, you too, right? Azazel, I'm certainly curious to know how you survived the blood of Samael and how you managed to defeat all those monsters practically at the same time. Serzex, although being Issei, he surely met a woman who helped him. Azazel, true, it must have been a woman with ridiculously large breasts. Issei, what kind of perception do they have of me? Azazel, Serzex, the Issei dragon. Issei, anyway, it wasn't a woman or anything. I'm not even sure what it was. I unknowingly took a fraction of his power. I even think it was more painful than Samael's curse, but he helped me soothe the pain. Serzex, Do you know anything else about him? Considering someone so strong, I'm surprised you don't. Issei introduced himself as the one above all. Azazel, what an extravagant name. Surzex, if that's the case, do you think it's more? Issei, stronger than Great Red? Definitely, even if Great Red and Ophis team up, they wouldn't be able to beat him, that's for sure. Azazel, is that even possible? The dragon gods are on another level. Issei, I only got a small fraction of his power, but I had a strange feeling, he told me, with his power I can do anything. Azazel, you do have a natural gift for attracting powerful people. Issei, I suppose. Surzex, since you have a bit of that person's power, what is your current level? Issei, should be stronger than Great Red. Surzex, that's hard to imagine, especially when you look so normal. Issei, that's true, my body is that of a normal human. Azazel, since you have more power than Great Red, what can you do now? Issei, I already said it, I feel like I can do anything, like altering the properties of matter. I could generate an explosion that would make the entire underworld disappear. The boy recreated an expression in the palm of his hand, but didn't make any noise. But I think this could give you a better idea. Surzex and Azazel watched Issei's movements closely. He extended his hands forward, palms up and slightly separated from each other. Slowly a crystal sphere the size of a soccer ball was created between Issei's hands. Inside the sphere a kind of very bright pink mist began to swirl in the center with several bright spots throughout the interior of the sphere. Once finished, Issei opened his eyes and looked at the leaders. Surzex, what is that supposed to be? Azazel, are you using your power to make giant marbles now? Issei, PFFF, you've been very funny today, Sensei, but no, this is something more interesting than a marble. If I told you that this is a galaxy, would you believe me? Late at night, Issei walked through the halls of the Gremory mansion, his brow furrowed as he muttered. Issei, damn, those two kept asking me questions until nightfall. I couldn't even ask the questions I wanted to. Azazel, that's impossible. A galaxy? Surzex, you're not joking, are you? Azazel, how did you do it? Issei, I shouldn't worry too much. He arrived at his room and went out to the balcony to observe the sky. There's nothing left for me to worry about. Well, there's one thing, I must look for my partner. The boy smiled at the sky, but his moment of peace was interrupted by the sudden knock on his door. He walked back inside his room and opened the door. Outside was Rias. She was wearing a pink dress like pajamas. A light blush covered her cheek. Rias, you didn't tell me that you had already finished your talk with my brother, she said as she entered the room. Issei, I thought you would be asleep by now, he said as he closed the door. Rias, still you could have gone to my room. She gave Issei a weak blow to the chest. Issei, sorry. Rias, I couldn't sleep. Well, I'm still scared that you'll disappear again. Issei smiled at her. Issei, I'm not going anywhere. I told you, I want to be with you. Always. The boy carefully hugged Rias. Rias, me too, I love you. Issei. She rests her head on Issei's shoulder. The young people continued hugging for a few minutes, then Issei separated a few centimeters from Rias and leaned in order to capture her lips. The young demon closed her eyes, waiting for Issei's contact. Her heart was beating rapidly due to her nervousness, but before they could kiss, the knock on the door surprised them. Knock. 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 At that sudden noise, Rias let out a small scream. Rias, Kia! The girl jumped in fright. Issei, ha ha ha, he laughed as he went to open the door. Rias, mu Issei, don't make fun of me, she pouted. When Issei opened the door, he found Akeno. Akeno, Issei, I couldn't sleep. It seems I need your warmth to rest. The girl approached Issei and hugged him tightly. At that moment she saw Rias. It was to be expected that Rias was here. Rias, I'll sleep with Issei tonight. Akeno, do you think it's okay to monopolize it like this? Rias, I don't care, he loves me after all. Akeno, well, as long as Issei agrees, I don't mind sharing it, although the idea of having an adventure with him is captivating. Both girls exchanged an intense look for a few seconds until Issei intervened. Issei, girls, why don't we all sleep together like we used to? Rias, but Issei. Issei, you guys probably couldn't sleep well because of me, so let's sleep together peacefully. He took the girls' hands and led them to the bed next to him. Issei lay down in the middle of the bed and the girls lay down on the sides. Issei, see, it's easier this way, he said while being tightly surrounded by the arms of both girls. Akeno, I miss this. Rias, me too. Issei, it's already by. Issei was interrupted by the sound of knocking on the door. Knock. Knock. Issei, give me a second. He got out of bed and headed towards the door. Rias puffed out her cheeks when he moved away from her. On the other side of the door was Asia. As soon as Issei opened the door, she hugged him. Asia, I see-san. Issei, what happened, Asia? He spoke softly while stroking the girl's head. Do you want to sleep with me? Asia, me, yes, that's what I want, she said with a smile. Issei carried Asia to the bed, again he in the center while the girls on his sides hugged him. Issei, now yes, we can. He was interrupted again by a knock on the door. Knock. Knock. Rias, I see, she said with puffed out cheeks, watching Issei get out of bed. Issei, I'll be right back. Upon opening the door, Issei found himself with Irina and Zenobia. Irina, sorry for bothering you so late. Zenobia, ahem, it's uncomfortable to sleep alone in a big room, so. Issei, do you want to sleep here? Zenobia, well, since you insist, she said as she entered the room. Both girls entered the room and lay down on the bed, with Issei in the center again. A few seconds passed in which no one said anything, they just enjoyed the moment. Akeno, won't you say something? She asked the boy. Issei, and what if a knock interrupts me again? Issei's comment generated a small laugh throughout the group. When everyone calmed down and closed their eyes to sleep, a knock on the door was heard again. Knock. 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 Issei got up and went to open the door. Outside was Kaneko with her furry features revealed. Kaneko, yo. Issei, go ahead, come in. And finally, with Kaneko, all the girls of the Gremmy group were reunited, or well, most of them. Details aside, everything seemed to have returned to normal. No one could have predicted that a known evil was brewing in the far reaches of the universe.
Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.